You can't lead any number of people.
I want to have more transparency, more safety, and more
Like hell. But when I came to Boys State, I worked myself up, became...
And I think that that is a huge problem. I think that keeping people...
The biggest issue that I see around campus is a very large disconnect between the student body and the actual governing body of UCM, being President Ambrose. When he holds things such as these forums on the budget issues or the gun reform last year, we have a good turnout, but not as many students as I feel should be concerned with the process. You know, these are issues that do impact and affect all of us. So I would like to focus on getting them more connected, getting them more engaged, fixing that void, that disconnect that exists, and doing that by having more open forums, doing that by having more events where students can come in, they can give suggestions, they can say what they need to say, and understand that what they say does matter to the people governing UCM.
A few issues that I focus on now can change as SGA president's involvement. Involvement is kind of a two-stage event. The first phase is if you have an event, you gotta do the usual, get the flyers out, talk to people, and people usually stop right there and they say, okay, we got the event out. But what housing has taught me is that you have to go door to door, whether it's a small program, big program, whatever pertains to them, whether it doesn't. So if we're gonna have an SGA program, I'm gonna go to the different residence halls, which I have before, go door to door and say, hey, maybe a few days before, we're having this program tomorrow. Or hey, we're having this program in like 30 minutes, you wanna come?
My main goal is student involvement. With budget cuts and with everything else going on, maintaining students is gonna be the biggest thing for us. That's gonna be how we won't have to raise tuition and stuff like that. That's how we're gonna keep tuition low and how we're gonna keep students here. And I think that there's a lot of students on campus that are not involved, and one way to get them involved is, having more involvement fairs and stuff like that.
Someone who listens, someone who, especially traditionally when you look into politics, no matter how high you get, you always look for that guy who's almost the everyman. The person that you can approach, the person that you can talk to, the person who you feel is going to represent you. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody who I can trust to represent me and not just go about whatever their own personal will is.
Just personally speaking, I would look for somebody who is well-rounded, who has the experience, who's able to talk to people, relate to people one-on-one, stuff like that.
You see him in the crowd, if you see him in your residence hall, you want to make his face seem familiar to you, so he's very personable, transparent. I might not be at every SGA meeting, or I might not even know what it is as an incoming freshman. Maybe say, hey, have him announce, hey, this is SGA, this is what we're doing. You might not be in there, but these are the policies we're looking at that we're going to change, and it's going to affect you, so you should probably pay attention, or here's what we're going to do, just a heads up.
After I get out of school, I'd like to go to the academy and become a police officer. And then I'd eventually like to go federal level, either DEA, FBI, something like that. And then after that, we'll see where we are. But I've definitely thought about politics. It's never been my main goal, but it's definitely out there. I would take for anything for local office. I really like helping people, and I want to represent people. I want to be the face that is the change. That's why I want to become a police officer. That's why I want to do those types of things.
I would aspire as high as governor, but I don't know if I would ever run. That would definitely be something I could aspire to. But right now, I just want to get to a state representative or state senator position.
So how it's working now is once I graduate college, I'll be commissioned as a second lieutenant in the United States Army. My goal is to go active duty, and I think my initial contract is 8 years. After that, I intend to that's gonna be like the crossroads, either continue to stay in the Army as active duty or go maybe National Guard or Reserve, and then hopefully go into the FBI Secret Service, and mandatory retirement is at 54. So either before then or at 54, that's when I'm gonna start going into politics with the eventual goal of becoming president of the United States.